One.
Hello.
Hello, Quan.
So for today, I'm gonna ask you some of the questions about our 97 class.
Yeah.
Okay, so our first question is, uh, what do you feel about us, like from the moment you're coming from as a teachers and then teaching us? What do you feel about?
One thing I'll say about 9AB7 is that I've never felt as welcomed by a class as what I have done with you guys. So online, you all did excellent. But I remember walking into school for the first day, and it's one of my favourite memories was you guys standing up and just clapping and looking so happy, and it was so good to see you. Like, because I had so long with you online, and you all did great online, and I knew you all personally online, but it was so nice to meet you, and that kind of reception, it just put us up for a great year together, I think.
Ooh, did you feel kind of stressed during the moment you step into our class?
I don't know. I don't think you have ever made me feel stressed. I think the nice thing about you guys is you're so open. So like if there is a problem, I don't feel like I need to stress about it because you will tell me. You guys are so clear with me, and so you've got really good communication, and like that makes a difference in everything. So it's really reduced the stress, I would say, compared to like other years that I've had, because usually high level classes like you guys can be quite stressful because you get a bit nervous, like, oh, they're gonna know more than me, and it's quite stressful. But I think you guys are like so approachable and friendly and just respectful that it's never stressful with you guys. It feels natural with you.
Talking about stress, so like, do you? Because I know that you are also currently a student as well,
Yeah.
and so like, how can you like balance both your like study and also like teaching us all the good things about here?
I will say that probably was the most stressful thing for me this year. It was hard because I only teach you, you were all new to me. And then not only that, I then had to study as well. So that was a lot to take in initially. But I think having you there and being in the classroom especially really it motivated me to not feel as stressed. You already know me, Gwen. You know I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and sometimes I do get a bit stressed. Like I want everything that I give to you guys to be 100% perfect, and sometimes it's not. And I think this year you guys have helped me realize that it doesn't always have to be perfect. We've got this. We can get through it together.
Thank you. Another thing is another question is that we all know that C1 is kind of challenging, and towards all of us, yeah, C1 the step from the normal solution to the goal experience is a huge step.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about our adaptation to the new course?
I would say you guys adapted very well, especially in comparison not only to this year's classes, but last year. Like you guys, I didn't hear anyone complain, which I think is the biggest takeaway. Even when things were hard, you would want more time with it, you'd want more revision classes, you would. But we worked around it and made sure that that was there. And I think having C1 was probably the biggest challenge that you guys, the biggest step that you guys will probably ever have to face. It was massive. But I think that step up, all of you kind of rose to the challenge. Like, you wanted to better yourselves. I remember getting that first unit test, all of you broken. You were all there like, no. And then as soon as you started to get the hang of what we were doing, it was like, I think by the end of unit 8, some of it was just almost second nature to you guys. And you was like, just doing use of English for fun now, which is something that I think at the start of the year, I don't think any of you would ever have said you could do. So I think that step up was huge. And I think you should all be like really proud of yourselves for being able to adapt to that situation. And I hope that I've helped you to be able to do that over this
Yeah,
year.
yes, indeed. Another thing is like based on your experience, what do you think like what are the challenges that we might face when we are moved to high school?
Okay, so for you guys moving to high school, I think one of the biggest things is going to be motivation at the beginning. I think you're all going to start, you're going to be doing new subjects. So you might not like at the moment, I'm very fortunate you all like doing ESL. So I have a great classroom environment with you, but it's just being careful that when you go to high school, there might be subjects initially that you don't like. And you just kind of need to find your own feet and get through them rather than slipping off and becoming lazier or doing anything that's out of character for you guys. I think it's mainly hard to adjust to that. And then I think also at the end, obviously, of high school, you're going to have to decide what you want to do for university. And I would genuinely say, start thinking about that soon. You don't want to end up doing something that you're doing it just for money or something. You want to do something that you're interested in. And I think at high school, you might get clouded with what you want to do but think about yourself as well as your education. And don't get stressed. Oh, please don't get stressed.
Yeah, thank you for your advices. And before we end, I have two more questions. First is, can you tell me about like some of the good thing about us and some of the memorable experience that you have with us?
One of the most memorable experiences was when you did those advertisement campaigns. I've never laughed so much. It was hilarious and you all got so into it. There was like everything. We had TikTok videos, we had YouTube videos, and everything was just so well put together. And I actually thought that was great. I thought you guys really embraced it. I think all of your projects in general have been very memorable. There's not ever been a moment where you're like, what are you doing? And then I would say the biggest thing for me is, again, coming back to how well you've adjusted this year. Your class never feels flat or down. We go into a reading lesson and there's no, you're all motivated, and that's not just like one memory, but throughout the whole year, that's really stood out to me. Although we did one speaking lesson once that I found hilarious. The Would I Lie to You one. And I found that hilarious. When you had to tell two truths and one lie, that was a lesson that really stood out for me because everyone got so into it and I couldn't stop laughing again. You just made me laugh.
Yeah. So for our final question, from the letter from the scale 1 to 10, how much do you love 97?
120. Is that an okay answer?
Too much.
Too much? Okay, let's go. 11? Too little?
Too little.
Too little? 75.
Whoa.
We'll go in the middle.
And why?
And why?
Yeah, why?
Like I said, I think the good thing about you guys is your personality. All of you have your own character. I don't feel like any of you are the same. And none of you are shy to show who you are. And I think that confidence and the way that you carry yourselves is fantastic. Like, it's so mature for a grade 9 class to be able to behave that way. There's usually like quiet people that just study or like loud people that distract people. There's none of that in non-AB7. Everyone's their own character. And I love that uniqueness and I love the fact that you guys are so different but work so well together. It's great. Like, it's just a really good time to have.
Thank you for joining this.
Well, thank you.